Definitely one of my proudest moments as a teacher was seeing one of my students on stage at the Grammy Awards receiving a Grammy this year as a member of Snarky Puppy. But also just seeing the students here at the college on a daily basis like create their music and get their music out there. So there are many proudest moments as a teacher around here. As far as my most significant challenges, I think one is to connect the students with the music industry, the reality of the music industry. And that's one thing that I just really like to harp on is how, they can do this. And in, the commercial music industry, instead of the traditional method of learning, classical and music theory and all that, we still learn that too, but also it's connected to what they really love, which is making songs and making beats. And then, what I call the 3 R's and the 1 S, which is, writing something, recording it and releasing it, and then also submitting it to something for consideration. In our case, and one of the ways that I've addressed that here is by creating the CVC Grammy Awards, which is where they make songs and they record them, and then they have to submit them by a deadline, and then they all vote on each other's music. So as far as unique and innovative methodologies of teaching, one is just really believing in the students and pulling out of them what I believe is inside of them. I have people say, I can't play the keyboard. And I say, well, come be in my keyboard ensemble and we'll teach you how. And then they end up soloing on the concert, on the keyboard ensemble concert. And also, really the teaching about the Grammy process is definitely one of my unique methodologies. I like to get them focused on the categories and understanding, which categories that they like and what they lean towards, so that they can, try to get a little more focused in their music. Also, I have what I call my flavors of jazz that I use for composition. The altered dominant 7th chord, which I call the chocolate chord. It sounds like this. And then also what I call the strawberry chord, which sounds like this. That I try to continue to make a positive impact as a teacher is just by really encouraging and not discouraging students. I really try to teach not necessarily how I was taught, but how I would have liked to have been taught, which means a lot more encouraging and not as much discouraging. I think that's really important when it comes to composition, because it's so easy to discourage composers. But for me as a composer, I really recognize how important it is to try to really foster and encourage anybody that has the slightest compositional spark to get it out there and silence the voice in your head that tries to tell you that your stuff is not worthy of being recorded or being released.